We're here at the Tesla Diner. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about Tesla as a company, what it's been versus what it's kind of turning into. This is the 1-year anniversary of this incredible spot opening, and I'm with the legendary Brian FutureAza. Let's get into it. Brian, I cannot believe that you were just walking around the corner. I was sitting there, you walked around the corner, and it felt like a scene out of that Kevin Costner movie where the baseball guys walk out of the cornfield. I'm like, holy smokes, there's Brian. And you're like, I'm late for an interview.
I'm late for an interview. That's pretty much it. I knew I was coming to this event. He knew he was coming. We didn't connect. Because I think we both just assumed, well, you're too far for an event like that.
Austin.
Yeah, Austin. You came 1,700 miles. Rad adventure plaid right there, screaming through the plains, as it were. And I finished the Sunday run of the play, got in the car, started driving, here I am. And then tonight, when this ends, I begin driving back.
Holy smokes. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about kind of Tesla as a company, what it's been versus what it's kind of turning into. And I feel like we're at an inflection point where we're seeing kind of that change that we've been talking about for the last couple of years, but it's actually starting to happen. We got 4 gold Cybercabs behind us here. We got the old Model S, which has now been discontinued. I'm running on hardware 3. Did you come down here on hardware 3 or hardware 4?
4.
Hardware 4. So big differences. We got V14 Lite. We're going to get into all of that. So let's start off with the vehicles themselves. Okay, so we've got the S and X that have been discontinued. The only new vehicle we've seen added to the lineup now is the Model Y L, which we have here in America. Where do you see things kind of going as far as, you know, we did away with those really nice cars. They were really legendary. And now we're moving into autonomy. We got Cybercab. Like, what's it all about? What's your take on it?
Absolutely. So that was the thing is you start at the top of the market. You make a little roadster that nobody can afford, but that's okay because we got to figure out how to build the damn things in the first place. Then we move on to the Model S. There's a big opening in the market. Nobody's building luxury cars. Others have since tried, but Tesla didn't have to compete against Tesla.
Right.
So that's a tremendous advantage. You're going up against somebody that's made hundreds of thousands of cars and you've made 6. So the future, as much as I'd like to say it's all going to be automobiles that you and I can enjoy and drive, it isn't. It isn't. Right. When the YL was rumored to not be coming to the US, I said, nah, ignore that. Elon said end of next year, if ever. I said, yeah, if ever is doing all the heavy lifting. It will come if, yes, and here we are. So I predicted first half of 26. I missed it by 2 days. The official announcement, July 2nd. So the future is autonomous because it makes sense. Right. Because even if we're talking about a Model Y, would you rather sell a car with $5,000 or $10,000 profit or $5,000 or $10,000 plus $100 a month for life? And I'm gladly pay now that it works, now that it actually does what it says on the tin. I'm not going back to driving. That is for the birds, man. Yeah. So it is fantastic. And in terms of Cybercab revenue, in terms of robotaxi revenue, the cars can make, I mean, let's be conservative and say a few thousand a month. Which would you rather do? Sell a car with $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 profit or keep a car with $30,000 to $60,000 in profit a year? Right. Until it's gone. I mean, my goodness.
So with the advent of autonomy and these, you know, steering wheel-less pods, these Cybercabs booting around, they're going to be on a network. But what do you think for like the average person? I mean, the way I see it, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is that, you know, a lot of households that have 2 or 3 cars will maybe go down to 1, and that'll be sort of their default, you know, sort of edge case vehicle. And then your day-to-day boring commuting is going to be these gold cabs. Do you see it like that?
I see it like that. I've seen people say it the other way. No, I'll take a Cybercab when I need one, but have my everyday driver at home. It depends on what you need. Okay. I've met people who buy a car, an old cheap car, just so the nanny has something to drag the kids around in. Okay. Okay, if it's one kid, buy a Cybercab, leave it clicked in, and now the nanny doesn't even have to drive it. She can be concerned with the child instead of the drive. Right. And it's the same kind of thing. Who else would not? Who else would not rent a Cybercab but buy one? Tradesmen. Okay. A traveling salesman. Right. David Moss could not crisscross the country in someone else's Cybercab when he was selling lidar because he's got too much stuff. He's got to drag it in and out of the car. That's a good point. It's too much. It's too much. Yeah. And yeah, so those people, it's like, well, okay, fine, we'll take $5,000 profit and $100 a month. It's still a good deal. And they can make them so quick, so simply, so easily that it defies understanding, frankly.
Right. So going away from these like sort of luxury vehicles, what we used to consider luxury is, you know, the nice leather and the air ride and all of that. Now the new luxury is autonomy. Press a button, it takes me there like I'm being teleported pretty much. Sit there on your phone and what have you. Do you see the platform or the design of Cybercab? This is something I've been sort of mulling around. I mentioned it at X Spaces a few times, but I'll mention it to you. I personally think that they're going to take what they've learned with Cybercab and build a few more vehicles, a few more kind of maybe larger, different size formats, but use the unbox process, you know, driverless controls, all the things they've learned. We saw that big book they released to the first responders, you know, the two-way communication and all the redundancies. Now we've got Starlink tied into it as well. Do you see them kind of expanding that as an ancillary lineup? So we have like the, you know, the 3 and the Y and the Cybertruck as sort of one section, but now we have like Cybercab 2.0, Cybercab 3.0, sort of bigger,
right,
you know, sort of splitting the lineup. What do you think?
Cyber van, cyber robo-van, yes.
Yeah.
So I don't. I don't. And the reason is 3 and Y are mature.
Okay.
And they're very easy to just keep cranking them out. Where if you were to try and say, well, let's take something the size of a Model Y and unbox it, it's a whole development process from the beginning.
Okay.
Now, it's possible they've already got that underway. I haven't heard anything to indicate it has or hasn't begun, but I'd be inclined to doubt it. It's the sort of thing where I think I would hear leaks from different suppliers. So it would be, it would be too many new things. I saw someone say what they should do is get rid of the body panels on a Model Y and replace them with the plastic.
The polymer. Okay.
And I said, it's unibody. You can't.
Right.
It's a whole new car at that point.
Yeah, that's right.
So, there are a lot of benefits to getting lighter. I could see a Cyber SUV using the polymer.
Oh, really?
Because then you can round the edges.
Okay.
It's not structural. You can round it. If you had something Cyber SUV shaped, but with rounded edges, you get into a lot bigger market.
Okay.
And if you drop that much weight, you increase your range a little bit. That's another big complaint is the range. And you're going to have better aero.
Okay.
So all around, there are reasons to make a case for it. You could build it on the same line as the Cybertruck, which means that you've got more utilization of that line, which brings down the cost for also the Cybertruck.
Right.
Because you got more parts moving through.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the Cyber SUV because that's where I was headed next.
All right.
I wanted to talk to you kind of about sort of upcoming vehicles and what are your predictions as to Cyber SUV? I'm pretty much convinced that this thing is right around the corner. I mean, everybody's screaming for it. There's a huge hole in the lineup. We need a vehicle that can, you know, move 7-8 people and have the safety of FSD, I should say, have the safety of FSD and be able to move, you know, larger groups of people. We've had some pretty sort of large social media account type people, celebrities, calling for, you know, a larger family vehicle with FSD. Not everybody can just stuff their family of 8 into a Model Y L. What do you think that your predictions are on Cyber SUV? And what would you like? What's your wish list for?
Oh, sure. So I was convinced SUV wasn't going to happen until I saw the sales figures declining on Cybertruck. They got to do something with the line. And then a few months later, I started hearing rumors, unsubstantiated, single source rumors. I don't report those, but the rumor mill has been murmuring about a Cyber SUV. And based on the production capacity versus utilization in Texas, it makes sense. And what I would like to see is I don't need stainless. Not on the door, not on anything. I want you to still have no paint shop, so the polymer makes sense. Injection molded composites are going to save the day on that. I'd like to, it's got to have more range. It's got to have more range. I don't want people sitting at chargers all day, but just get, you know, maybe go to 140, 150 like Rivian has with the Max Pack. I think that would, and with the supercharging network and the number of V4 cabinets we're seeing on your road trips, I'm sure you're seeing them all the time, brand new stations popping up. And
they're adding V4s in where existing sort of V2, V3s are. It's kind of piggybacking on them, which is kind of interesting.
I was in Corning yesterday, and when it pulled in, I was like, oh, there's the chargers. Those aren't V4s. And then the car keeps going. I'm like, where are we headed? To the back, to where all the V4s are.
Okay.
And so you've got extra, no need to tear those out. They still work.
They still work, yep.
I think maybe you should take a penny off the percentage of the cost. so that people might choose to use them,
Right.
Especially on holiday. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I think at that point, people are just glad to have chargers. So yeah, what I want to see from the Cyber SUV is I want it to be 70,000 or less to start.
Ooh, okay.
Because at that's a very different ask than 80 to 100.
Right.
Now on the launch edition, do whatever you like.
Sure, of course, yeah.
care. But on real production, it's got to start at 70. We saw how the Cybertruck moves at 70.
Oh yeah.
And I hope that can come back.
Yeah.
I hope that the scale between the two could allow them to get back to that price and stay there, at least, adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what I'm expecting.
So a lighter vehicle, little bigger, and maybe bigger battery pack.
Yeah.
Which will translate into a little faster charging, because with a bigger pack, you can hold those higher levels a little longer.
Yes, that's also true.
Right.
And on the bigger vehicle, I mean, the same footprint, but just more interior space.
Right. Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be
it's
longer.
interesting. Could you see them combining? So maybe doing like sort of 3/4 of the truck in stainless, but then the back, maybe the tailgate or something is done in the polymer, and they'll just make it black or something like that?
They could, but the stainless is expensive and heavy.
But it's tough.
Yes, but SUV people buying
Not as important,
buying an
maybe.
Escalade are not taking it off road.
Interesting. Okay.
And I've seen R1s on the trails. I've never seen the
R1S?
The R1S.
Yeah.
I've never seen the R1T.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I've seen the truck, never the
Right.
SUV.
Okay. I understand. Yeah.
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 Because truck people do truck stuff and
Interesting.
SUV people do SUV stuff.
Right. Yeah. That'll be interesting.
And I'm sure there's exceptions watching this, but
Right.
for the most part, most people with a big family SUV do big family stuff
Yeah.
on the road.
Well, and speaking of family, so we just got a new family SUV with the Model Y L. What are your thoughts on that vehicle? Where do you see, what's your projections? Some people are saying, oh, this is like the next best thing since sliced bread. It's going to outsell the regular Juniper. It's going to be #1 seller. And then there's some people are saying, oh, it's just going to be, a small sort of niche market. What are your thoughts on Model
Sure.
Y L now that you've, seen it and we actually have it on sale here in America?
Sure. So I got to see it in China this year. Maybe it was earlier. In January I saw it at a showroom in China, and I did what every reasonable reviewer does: hopped in the passenger seat, adjusted it, second row, adjusted it, third row, I still fit.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm not super tall, but then Kyle Connor, when it came to the U.S., or no, I think Kyle did it in China.
He did in
as well.
China, yeah.
He's 6'2".
Right.
He fits in the third row, and there was someone who just did it this week as well.
Right.
And you're like, guys,
Matt Wallace, I think.
Matt,
Yeah.
that's right. It was
Yeah.
Matt Wallace. He's not a short man.
Right.
He's easily 6'2".
Yeah.
And so
He could squeeze in there.
he's like, I fit. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not bragging.
No, they certainly did a great job with the packaging, for sure.
So it is slightly bigger. The battery is slightly bigger. And in most markets, we only see the launch price right now, so we don't know the real price. In most markets, it's 8% more than a Model Y regular.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Do you see it cannibalizing a good chunk of the regular Y?
it's not cannibalizing because it's the same line with the same capacity. So
okay.
anything it adds is just additive. And
Okay.
because it's more expensive, you get a little bit more margin.
Right.
So if you
Okay.
could cannibalize 100% of the Model Y market for a car that's a little more expensive and a little more profitable, wouldn't you?
Interesting. Okay, that's a neat way of looking at it. I hadn't thought about that. That's actually a really good point. So where do you see it as being sort of a percentage of Tesla's sort of overall sales? Where do you see that sliding in?
So
after it's, been in
Sure.
the market for a little bit.
After it's had time to mature.
Yeah.
I would say it will outsell any of the individual trims of the Model Y.
Ooh, okay.
So it'll sell more than the performance
Right.
or the long range or the rear wheel.
Okay.
But I don't know if it'll become larger than half of total sales.
Okay.
I know some people say, oh, it'll be 90%.
Yeah.
I think that's too much. I think there's a lot of people who don't need the space. There's
Well,
a lot
it's
of people
priced
who,
too.
It's priced
Yeah.
too. And there's a lot of people who think, well, the Y is already almost too big for me.
Oh.
And for those people,
Right. Correct.
it's a non-starter.
Interesting. Okay. So shifting away from vehicles, we know that Tesla is, a culmination of many, many startups. Tesla Energy, we're actually at a facility right now. This is a really unique supercharger because we have these beautiful solar canopies as well as Megapack. We actually have Megapack right behind us over here, Megapack over here. And where do you see kind of the Tesla Energy, sort of realm moving? Are you seeing a lot of sort of growth there? Is it stabilizing? What do you think?
So on the chargers, on charger deployments, it looks like they're still increasing, but the rate is not increasing. It doesn't need to. There are in most places, kind of enough chargers. But they're handling more and more third-party vehicles.
Okay.
But those third-party sales are flat
Oh.
or declining.
Okay.
So 2 years ago, I would have said that we are adding a ton of sales from other companies, and we have to accommodate that growth. That growth is dead.
Interesting.
That growth is negative.
Okay.
So even though Tesla's doing better this year than last year,
Yeah.
the overall market is flat because everybody else kind of stopped.
Right.
So on the charging side, I see people with a lot of misconceptions about, well, they should just go back and add solar panels to all the existing charging locations.
Okay. Yeah.
And they can't because
Okay.
they don't own most of them.
Right.
What
Okay.
are you going to go to
You have to own the land.
Menards and say, hey, do you mind if I also... And same with Megapacks. There's no spot to put them.
Right.
So you
roll up to Buc-ee's and say, yeah, we're putting in canopies.
Yeah. The Beaver has other ideas.
That's right.
So yeah, I think the charging build out is going well. The V4s can do 500 kilowatt, but the cabinets behind them can do a megawatt. So
Right,
if we ever get megawatt charging cars in the US, the V4 cabinets are already ready to go.
Okay.
The Megapack behind it can handle that juice. The V4 cabinets are the same ones they use for the Semi.
Right.
And we're now seeing the first Semi locations for charging publicly
Yep.
out here in California. Forget the name of the city, but it's in California. It's open.
Yeah, it's actually, I actually drove past it. I didn't go to it, but I did drive past it on the way here. It's near a place called Ontario, California, which is, I'm actually from the province of Ontario in Canada.
Yeah.
But I actually stopped when I was up in Chicago. They've got a spot there. I went to a trucking yard that's getting prepared. They got the hydro poles in. They ran the power for mega chargers for semis. So
Yeah.
it is happening. Definitely on the move. Tesla Semi, now that we're on it, what do you
Sure.
think? Where do you see us going there?
It's the quietest, most exciting project. It is
Okay.
something I follow weekly. Every week I'm doing updates on it. I'm following the competition. I've done presentations at Daimler
Okay.
about the e-Cascadia to e-Cascadia people.
Oh my goodness.
And they were, I said, one of the things I said though is, the pricing is not published on the e-Cascadia, but it appears to be 400 to 500,000. And afterwards he said, yes, it is.
Oh wow.
Yes, it
Confirmed.
is.
Okay.
Confirmed. It's really hard to hide stuff like that because big companies have to report stuff.
Right.
So it comes out. The Daimler costs 400 to 500,000. That's a problem because it takes time to make your money back. You can pay a lot more for something and save money. You know how that works. If a Tesla costs 5,000 more than a gas car,
Yeah.
you're going to save that money back halfway through the car's life easily, just in fuel.
Yeah.
The sweet spot for semis is 300,000.
Okay.
And that's on normal gas. Right now, gas is higher than usual. It'll presumably come back down at some point.
Right.
Stick with the averages. And what happens is, if you can get subsidies to pull it back to 300, the electric truck makes sense.
Okay.
If you can't, it doesn't. Daimler
Right.
went from making 1,000 e-Cascadias a year to 100.
Jeepers. Wow.
And that's a real kick. But the problem is they had this gamble to make. Do we build a bespoke electric truck, which is going to cost billions in development, billions in a factory,
Yeah.
and hope it sells? Or why don't we just cobble it together into the existing platform?
Right.
That's going to be cheap, with the downside being the sale cost is going to be too high.
Yeah.
So they chose that one. Because of that, the frame is overbuilt. The
Oh.
frame, when you stomp on it in
Yeah.
a Semi, the entire frame twists because the engine's in the front and the drive is in the back.
Right.
Electric semis don't do that.
Right.
You don't need that kind
No,
of
the
frame.
motor's right on the wheels.
Right on the
basically,
wheels.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be able to withstand all that torsion.
Right.
So that means you're carrying too much frame. But all your other systems are
Spent the money on it too.
Every other electric semi in the US, apart from Tesla and BYD, have transmissions, Josh.
Right.
They have do you know what a transmission weighs?
Yeah. Massive.
Like
yeah.
1,000 pounds.
Especially in a semi.
Yeah. Well, in the semi specifically, they weigh literally 1,000 pounds or more. 700 is the smallest one I saw. So you're going to weigh more. And as a result, the average efficiency of e-Cascadia and all those is 2.1 kilowatts per mile.
Wow.
Versus Tesla at 1.8.
Oh my goodness.
So
Not
you
even
are
close.
Not even close. You're 15%, 15% off
Yeah.
every mile you drive. And then you've got, on top of that, you don't have the transmission to maintain, you don't have all that other nonsense.
Right.
And there was a study done in, I want to say Kansas maybe. Anyway, there was a road study where they had the vehicle, they had the semi, they ran it, they came back and said, okay, we checked it all out, we'll buy them. And they go, can we see the study? Oh yeah, sure. 1.6 kilowatt hours per mile, another 10% more efficient than as spec'd. And it's like, that's
blowing them away.
Blowing them.
Yeah.
That's a third cheaper than operating.
Unreal.
And so how do you compete with a Tesla Semi, which by the way is magically just under 300,000. So they're already better than cost parity on total cost of ownership.
Unreal.
And that's the first generation.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see sort of an accelerated sort of wave event happen as those trucks get out into the markets and adoption, and companies talk, right? And everybody's watching everybody else. And I think we're going to see some big movement there. But it is very silent, like you started out by saying. This is like the biggest deal that literally nobody, not even Tesla's talking about it.
Yeah, we are seeing some little demos here and there, which is great. They do have some marketing people getting the word out slowly.
Yeah.
But it's not sexy. I see people who say, they're obviously not a thing because I've never seen one myself.
Right.
I go, well, A, do you pay attention? And B, where do you live?
Yeah.
Because if you live along Donner Pass, you see them every day.
Right.
It's route specific.
Yeah, absolutely. So to wrap it all up, where do you see Tesla going from here in 2026? Let's just say next 5 years, 2031. We're standing here at the Tesla Diner 6-year celebration. And what are we talking about then?
Well, we're talking about the robot invasion, surely.
Okay.
Because I get conversations with people where they say, I would never have one in my home and I don't think it could do my household tasks. Okay. And I said, that's okay, because it's not about you. Ooh. I agree that it last night I reached down into my bag to grab a pair of socks.
Okay.
If I asked Optimus to get it, it would politely unpack my bag.
Right.
And then politely repack my bag.
Okay.
A 5-second thing just took 6 minutes.
Right.
At best. Not ideal. But in a factory, you've toured enough factories to see the odd person doing the odd task.
Just doing this to here to here.
Yeah, they go, well, but make a single use. No, if they could, they already would have.
Right.
The guy bringing the trolley of stuff to give to the robot should be a robot.
Right, okay.
And it's not.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you can make one that does it. Yeah, but it can't read the tags.
Okay.
Well, make one that reads the tags. Great, now it can't do the other things. So
it's got to be able to think.
It's got to be able to think and have the capacities roughly that our dumbest, slowest employee has.
Okay.
We don't have to be the perfect employee.
Yeah.
We just got to get close.
Yeah. So that's where we are. 5 years out.
5 years out.
We're talking robots. We
will have arrived here without. We might have been asleep in the car. Wouldn't it be better if when you leave tonight, when I leave tonight, when we head to our own corners of the country, if you could just hop in the back and go to sleep.
Absolutely.
And wake up refreshed for breakfast. That's coming.
100%. Well, Brian, thank you very much, man. Always a pleasure to have you on the channel.
I love you, man.
You're the best, man.
Appreciate
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll see you in the next video.